You nailed it, you absolutely crushed it. The contract is signed, the signatures are scanned, and you feel that rush, the pure adrenaline of a deal closed. You've navigated the budget constraints, countered the competition, and gotten that magic signature on the dotted line. For a sales professional in software, this is the ultimate high point. You've proven your worth. You've secured the win. Congratulations, you closed the deal. But if this feeling is immediately followed by a sinking pit in your stomach, wondering how you're going to actually deliver on every single promise you made during those high-stakes closing calls, then stop right there. Because that rush is about to transition into a race against time, and frankly, it's where most sales reps accidentally trade their victory lap for a frantic damage control operation. We've all been there. The initial sale is a whirlwind of customization, bespoke solutions, and promises that sound absolutely brilliant in the context of a late-night discovery call. You're painting this picture. Yes, we can integrate with your legacy system, or we can roll out phase 1 in 6 weeks. And the client, basking in the glow of your expertise and enthusiasm, nods vigorously. They are buying into the vision you present, the perfect, idealized future state where our software solves every single pain point in a seamless manner. They are buying into your delivery capability, even if that specific promise was never explicitly documented in the statement of work. Then comes the inevitable handover. The documents move from your desk or your CRM to the implementation team's queue, and this is where the chasm opens up. This gap between the promise and the process is often vast, wide, and frankly terrifying. The implementation team wakes up to the reality that the sales pitch, while undeniably successful in winning the business, was often a high-level, aggressive interpretation of what was possible. They see the ambitious feature list. They see the tight timeline, and suddenly they are staring down a barrel of scope creep and resource misalignment. The sales cycle is done. The real work, the engineering, the configuration, the training, has just begun. And what happens? Usually the poor salesperson finds themselves in the middle of a crossfire. The client calls up, ecstatic about the promised quick integration timeline, wanting to jump into usage immediately. And the implementation team responds with a polite but firm reality check. That feature is possible, yes, but it requires an additional 3 weeks of discovery and development work. The client hears 3 extra weeks, but what they actually hear is, you didn't budget for that. And the sales rep, they are suddenly stuck between defending their brilliant, yet slightly inflated original promise and explaining the technical realities of modern software deployment. It's a treacherous position to be in, professionally and personally. The common mistake here, and it's a costly one, is viewing the sales cycle as the end point of your responsibility. It is not. Your role doesn't end when closed one appears on the screen. If you treat it as a transaction, a successful exchange of product for money, you are leaving the most critical part of the customer journey unguarded. You need to fundamentally shift your mindset from being the deal closer to becoming the customer success guardian. You are now the bridge, the translator, and the internal champion that ensures the promise made on day 1 is honored through to go live. Being a guardian means you don't just hand off the contract, you co-sign it. It means conducting a rigorous internal audit of what was promised versus what is logistically feasible within the quoted time frame. Did we promise deep customization, or did we promise configuration? Did we promise a simple integration, or did we promise a full API build-out? You need to be comfortable pushing back, not on the client but internally, with your own product and delivery teams. You must validate that every feature discussed has a clear path to execution, matching the scope creep potential to the pricing model agreed upon. This proactive vetting phase is your insurance policy against churn. It's the difference between a successful deployment and a dreaded post-sale salvage operation. If you identify that ambitious feature request during the discovery phase, don't just say yes. Say, yes, and that feature falls into our platinum tier rollout package. If we proceed with the standard package, we can achieve 90% of that functionality using this streamlined approach. You are guiding the client toward success, not just promising rainbows. When the implementation team receives a sale that has been thoroughly vetted through this lens, when they receive a clearly defined statement of work, not just a pile of enthusiastic brainstorms, the handover goes from being a stressful bomb disposal operation to a smooth, choreographed dance. The implementation team moves into execution mode, confident that the playing field is level and everyone understands the boundaries. And you, the sales rep, move from being perpetually defensive to being celebrated as the strategic driver of long-term client value. Think of this as a maturity model for your entire organization. The companies that survive and thrive aren't the ones who are best at closing the deal. They are the ones that have built internal processes robust enough to honor those deals without sacrificing sanity or service quality. You are the most valuable asset in this ecosystem because you are the ones who bring in the revenue. But your success is directly correlated to the successful, long-term adoption of what you sold. Yeah. So here is the actionable takeaway for you today. Before you sign off on that next big deal, build in a mandatory reality check checkpoint into your pipeline. Before you say yes to the dream, confirm the roadmap. Don't just sell the destination, sell the journey, and make sure your internal teams are ready to build that road. Don't let your brilliant close become a glorious, yet ultimately unsustainable promise. If this resonates with your experience, if you felt the weight of that chasm before, hit that like button. And if you want to dive deeper into building these unbreakable sales to success handoffs, let us know in the comments. What's the biggest misalignment you've seen happen between sales and delivery? Let's start a conversation about how we all become better at this. Subscribe for more breakdowns on scaling sales and delivery excellence. Your action plan: 1. Translate vision into documented scope. 2. Define boundaries before promising timelines. 3. Own the customer journey past closing.